students. Dr. Cohen here. I am going to go over how to read a journal article. And I'm hoping that this presentation will help you. I understand that sometimes peer-reviewed journal articles can be a little daunting, but the reason that I like you to use them is that they are articles that are based on research, and they go through a peer-reviewed process where other professionals who are knowledgeable about whatever it is that that the people are writing about go through it, review it, give feedback, and so really you can trust the information that is put in there because of the process that's gone through it, that the article has gone through. And so I think they're important to use, but like I said, they can be a little daunting. So I'm going to talk about section by section what's in a peer-reviewed, particularly a social science peer-reviewed journal. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was the abstract, and the abstract is a summary of what is contained in the article and a summary of the key findings from the research that the article is based on. It's a great way to just read the abstract and say, okay, this is information that's going to be helpful to me in writing my paper, or this just really has nothing at all to do with the work that I'm doing. And so it's a great place to start to kind of weed out what is important for you and what you might use and what you can just kind of put aside. Then there is an introduction. And by the way, not all articles have all of these, but most of them do. Some articles have an introduction, some go right into the literature review. If they have an introduction, it basically tells you what it is that this body of research is contributing to the current understanding of whatever the topic is. And journal articles have to be able to fill in a void, have to provide something new to the existing knowledge of a particular topic, or they don't get accepted and published. So that's that. The next thing is the literature review. Often students then make the mistake of pulling information from the literature review. What I would say about the literature review is, if you, for instance, for this paper, let's say you have to come up with 3 journal articles on a particular topic. If you read through the literature review, often you can find other articles and then go find them and use them, but don't cite or use the information in the literature review in your paper. This is somebody else's literature review. This is somebody else's summarizing the existing research. So if you want to pull from there for additional articles and go get the, look them up in the bibliography and go get those articles, that's fine, but don't cite from the literature of an article. Next is the method section, which is how they in detail got the information, what their research process was. In general, I think you can disregard the method section. The method section is really there so that the peer reviewers see how it is that the researchers got the findings that they did. And if that process is not good, those journal articles, those articles won't get accepted for publication. So have it on faith that somebody read through this, made sure that they did this in a legitimate way, and just skip over the method section of the article. Next is the results section. That can be a little confusing because often they are talking about findings, especially for me in quantitative research, they talk about things like processes and results. Overall, I think sometimes those details can be more challenging to understand. And so really for the results section, I say skim through it, but you don't need the details. Then there is the discussion section and the conclusion. That's where you're going to find the meat of the journal article. This is really what their findings were. And if you're going to pull information out of journal article to put in a research paper, that's where you're going to find that information, in the discussion and the conclusion. And then lastly is the references. Again, if you're going to pull literature from their literature review, go into the references, find a source, and then look that journal article up. So just to be clear, if you want to be efficient in your process, I would say read the abstract to get a sense of what their findings were, and then read the discussion and conclusions to figure out what you're going to pull from the article. And that for the most part, for the types of work that you all are doing, I would say disregard the rest of it unless you're looking for additional literature, and then read the literature review so you can pull information out of there. So that's my summary on how to read a journal article. You are welcome to also look at the document, how to read a journal article, how to read a social service journal article if you want additional information. But that's it. I hope you find this video helpful. Good luck on your papers.